People, deluded, I'm back again. Now, I was having this debate with friends, and I personally don't know where to stand on this, and I don't think you really can have a side. Coutinho and Emre Can, they've obviously both, not together, but they both left Liverpool to join, to which I believe, no disrespect to Liverpool, because they have the Champions League under their belt right now. But Juventus and Barcelona, I describe them as bigger clubs. You can't say no to these sort of teams, sort of thing. Obviously, both of these players have left, and whichever reason they left, it was a crazy Champions League campaign last season. Fantastic from Liverpool. Obviously, the highlight is lifting the trophy for a lot of these players and to get their sixth UCL. But for me, the highlight would be, if I was a Liverpool fan, coming back against Barcelona. There should be an inquest into how Barcelona bottled that, how their manager still is in that position, I don't know, but that's nothing on Liverpool. Liverpool had to go. Liverpool, I think they did all right at the new camp, and obviously they did what they needed to do at both legs. So it's a fantastic achievement. No one can. Foresight is a wonderful thing, and hindsight is an even better thing. In hindsight, considering Coutinho's found himself shifted out of Barcelona for whatever reason, again, I think he could have been a success, but Valverde needs to go, and he's now at Bayern Munich, which ironically is still a big club and a competitive club. Again, Liverpool have the Champions League, so it kind of throws this on his head. But you'd expect, or you would have typically, prior to this season, I'm sure many Liverpool fans would have said Barcelona, Juventus and Bayern Munich, obviously with Coutinho joining them now, have more of a chance of winning the Champions League than Liverpool. Liverpool have won and done it, so it is what it is. And Coutinho hasn't won the Champions League, and neither has Emre Can, so it is an L. If they stayed, they could have played. I know a lot of people say Coutinho could have achieved God status at Liverpool, which is true, people. We will see it, and we will love it when players leave our club and then they see grass isn't greener on the other side. But it is what it is. Of course, no disrespect to the Serie A title. In fact, after the race thing, I don't care about anything. And on to the German Bundesliga, not German Bundesliga, the Serie A and the Spanish league titles, people. Really and truly, they left the league. No one could see the championship. That Liverpool would win the Champions League, but put either team put them back into when they left. Clearly, Emre Can would have looked at it and said Juventus have more of a chance of winning the Champions League. Barcelona is Barcelona. Coutinho, for me, can't be begrudged for joining them, excluding how potentially he might have left. And Liverpool fans know their team more than me, so I won't pretend to know it. But Barcelona came, in hindsight, he joined them in January. He's never really got a time to settle. Obviously, when you play for Barcelona, it doesn't matter how creative you are. You've seen it with Dembele, you've seen it with Coutinho, and you've seen it with other players. You have to adopt your game to Messi. Messi gets the central areas, Messi gets the best areas. Alexis Sanchez, even at Barcelona, you have to adapt to Messi and fit in. So on top of, for me, never really setting in, the manager really not really utilising him properly, and obviously the whole Messi thing, it was never going to work for him, really and truly. Again, saying that Valverde played him a lot of times, but at the end of the day, he made 69 appearances. He didn't make 100. They spent a lot of money on him. It hasn't happened for him. He won a league title, and I wouldn't say his Barcelona career was a failure, but I don't see Coutinho's thing I wouldn't say it was a success, but I wouldn't necessarily say it as a failure, because he won league titles, something that he would have the Champions League, but nobody would have seen that Liverpool would have won it at the time. So he went and got a league title. I think he's won 2 league titles technically there, and a couple of domestic trophies. Emre Can the same. Again, the Champions League, looking at them things, it makes it look if you stayed you would have had this, in which that is an L, but I don't necessarily feel there's a side that you can really stand on, people. Because everyone can say the Coutinho God status and things like that, but what if Coutinho did stay and then Liverpool got another bid from Barca or something and then said they want to sell him? What happens then? This whole staying at clubs thing is subjective, because I've seen many players stay at clubs until they're past it and then they get shafted off, people. So you've got to do what you've got to do, and to be honest, I might be looking ahead, but I like to see players seizing their futures. You look at Can and you look at Coutinho. If they were 35 years of age and they had the chance to join Juventus, and for me, I'm focusing more on Coutinho and Barcelona, you don't want to sit at the end of your career thinking what might have been. You don't want to do that. So you want to seize these opportunities. And at the end of the day, you've played with Lionel Messi, you've won stuff at Barcelona, you've played a decent amount of times for Barcelona. So to say you played for now Bayern Munich on loan in different circumstances, Inter Milan, Liverpool, Barcelona, these are big clubs to have had on your CV and having a diverse career. At the end of the day, like Dani Alves said, footballers, you're just playing football in the rain. If the move isn't working out, you just move to another club. Yes, it is an L, but football's not that deep, people, really and truly. So personally, I don't know if Coutinho and Emre Can would be classed as a flops. I'm not sure on Can, because Can just looks like he's been marginalised at Juventus from day dot. But for the price that Coutinho was bought for and he's been shipped out, I guess you do have to say he's a flop. But I don't feel comfortable saying that, people. So I guess I'm asking for you guys' opinions, really and truly. I'm just giving my thoughts out loud, and hopefully you lot can give me some different talking points and stuff, because I do read you lot's comments and I'm like, no man, that's what I am. I have my opinion, but if you present me with new information, I'll be like, oh, Joe Blogs commented that about Coutinho, right, he's got a point. I believe this now. Do you get it, people? That's mainly why I'm making this vid, people. Again, Liverpool fans, within their rights, I'd be doing the same thing. Obviously, Cesc won stuff, but to a degree, I was doing it to Cesc. He left, they won champs. Do you get it? Barcelona won champs without Cesc there. It's completely different. But of course, the banter thing. But when we move away from the banter and mocking players, would you say Coutinho and Emre Can have been flops, or they've been alright, or is it there's not really one? For me, I don't think there's one side you can stand on, people. You can't say they were flops, you can't say they were successes. I think there's a middle ground. I think you can just say it simply just didn't work out. And to be honest, the more I'm doing this vid, Coutinho kind of was a flop, really and truly, because look at the money spent and it hasn't worked out. Potentially, again, I'm nobody, I'm just a football fan who makes vids, but I would have liked the prospect of bringing in Neymar, playing Coutinho, or still utilising Coutinho. And we have to remember, Coutinho, there's a buy clause in Coutinho's contract at Munich, but he can still technically have a Barcelona future. If Barca don't win the champs this season, he comes back from the loan, because Munich say they're not on it. He comes back from the loan and he wins the Champions League. What's people say? Or if some funny way, Bayern Munich, I don't think Bayern Munich will, but Bayern Munich win the Champions League this season, what would it say? Everything happens for a reason. Coincidentally, he found himself at Munich because of the Barca not working out. But if they win it, what would it say? Because he would have been vindicated in his move, because in a funny old way, if Munich did win, it would end up in him winning the champs. And like I've already said earlier, the league title thing, people. So it's an interesting one, and I don't feel there's one particular side you can stand on, but it's a good talking point. I've got a lot of talking points I can speak of, people. Like, you lot know me, I sit here making vids, but there's a lot of content I'll bring out tomorrow and make vids vids and stuff and all of them sort of things. But obviously, I'm in my lunch break and anyone can pop in at this room at any moment, people. So I really think that you're watching me and rocking with me. And if the camera, because I can't see it now because I'm making do with what I have, if the cameras come out of focus and things like that, I apologise, people. Hopefully my voice has been crystal clear. On that note, I'm going to keep it moving, people. Deluded. Stay safe. I'm out.